Hey dog lovers, ever found yourself unable to resist those soulful puppy eyes and that adorable doggy grin, tempted to share a little treat from your plate? Well, today we're getting into a topic that might surprise you. Did you know that some everyday human foods can spell trouble for your furry friend? We're here to spill the kibble on what your dog should never munch on, and trust me, it's not just about the extra pounds. Stay tuned for some eye-opening insights that could make all the difference for your four-legged family member. Let's not waste time. Number 10. Chocolate. We all can't resist it, but for our canine buddies, chocolate is a big red flag. Chocolate packs a toxic punch with something called methylxanthines. Even a teensy bit of chocolate, especially the dark variety, can turn into a messy ordeal, bringing on bouts of diarrhea and vomiting. If a pup gets hold of a hefty dose of chocolate, we're looking at potential seizures, wonky heart rhythms, and sadly, the worst-case scenario, lights out. So the next time you're indulging in chocolatey goodness, make sure it's a solo affair. Keep it far, far away from your four-legged companion, because for them, it's not just a tasty treat, it's a risky game. Number 9. Avocado. Humans might love avocados, but for our dogs, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Avocados have this thing called persin. If you're not allergic, you're good to go. But for dogs, it's a different story. Too much persin, found in the leaves, seed, bark, and fruit, could lead to a not-so-fun party of vomiting or diarrhea. Now, if you're a green thumb and grow avocados at home, listen up. Keep your dog away from the whole avocado crew, especially the seed. That seed can cause a real traffic jam in the stomach or intestines. And trust me, that's a roadblock we want to avoid because it could be a serious game changer, and not in a good way. So, next time you're enjoying some avo toast, make sure your furry buddy sticks to their bowl. Number 8. Alcohol. Turns out alcohol doesn't play nice with a dog's liver and brain. It's like a not-so-fun party crasher. Dogs are way more sensitive to alcohol than humans. Even a tiny sip of beer, a lick of liquor, a taste of wine, or nibbling on alcohol-laced food can spell trouble. We're talking about a not-so-pleasant lineup of issues. Think vomiting, diarrhea, wobbly coordination, trouble breathing, and in serious cases, even a doggy coma or worse, saying goodbye way too soon. It's a real bummer, right? The smaller your dog, the bigger the risk. So, if you've got a pint-sized pup, extra caution is the name of the game. Remember, the party's off-limits for our friendly dogs when it comes to alcohol. Stick to their favorite doggy treats and keep those tails wagging safely. Number 7. Coffee, tea, or caffeine. Now here's the serious stuff. Caffeine. It might be our go-to for a pick-me-up, but for our dogs, it's a big no-go. Watch out for anything with caffeine, like coffee and tea. Even the beans and grounds are off-limits. Cocoa, chocolate, colas, coffee, tea, and energy drinks are in the same boat, so keep those away from your fur baby. Caffeine isn't just in our drinks and snacks. It can sneak into some cold medicines and painkillers too, so be extra careful. If you suspect your dog got a taste of caffeine, don't wait. Hustle to the vet pronto. Remember, a dog is a happy poop, and we want to keep them that way. Attach to the toys, skip the caffeine, and keep those tails wagging. Number 6. Macadamia Nuts. Macadamia nuts might be a crunchy delight for us, but for our dogs, they're a big no. Just 6 of these nuts, whether they're raw or roasted, can stir up some trouble for your pup. Keep anything with macadamia nuts far, far away from your dog's snack radar. How do you know if your dog got a little too nutty? Watch out for signs like shaky muscles, unexpected vomiting, a hotter than normal temperature, and wobbly weakness in their back legs. If your pup gobbles up some chocolate along with those macadamia nuts, things can go from bad to worse, maybe even risking their precious doggy life. Yikes. Number 5. Persimmons, peaches, and plums. It's not that the whole fruit is a no-go, but it's those sneaky seeds or pits causing the mischief. Take persimmons, for example. Their seeds can be troubling in a dog's tiny tummy, even causing a traffic jam in their intestines. Now, let's talk about peaches and plums. The pits from these fruits are like little troublemakers. If a dog decides to munch on one, it could lead to a serious blockage in their intestines. Plus, here's the kicker. Those pits have something called cyanide, and trust me, it's not friendly. Humans know better than to mess with it, but our furry friends, not so much. So next time you're enjoying these fruits, keep the seeds and pits away from your four-legged friend. Number 4. Raw eggs. Some people feed their dogs a raw diet, and eggs are part of the mix. The big vet experts aren't giving it a high paw of approval. Why? Well, it turns out there's a bit of a risky business involved. Uncooked eggs could bring along some not-so-friendly bacteria buddies like Salmonella or E. coli. And trust me, that's not the kind of party we want for our pups' tummies. It's like a food poisoning risk, and that's a big red flag. So, before you decide to whip up a raw egg feast for your furry friend, it's best to have a heart-to-heart with your vet. They're the real MVPs when it comes to your pet's health. Number 3. Raw meat and fish. Let's talk about something fishy. Raw meat and fish in our dog's diet. Now, I know the idea of a raw feast might sound fancy, but just like with raw eggs, raw meat and fish can bring along some bacteria that can lead to a nasty case of food poisoning. Some fish, like salmon, trout, shad, or sturgeon, can host a not-so-welcome party crasher, a parasite that brings along something called fish disease, or salmon poisoning disease. Treatable? Yes, but the key is to act fast. Look out for signs like unexpected vomiting, a fever, and swollen lymph nodes. It's like a fishy emergency alert. So here's the real deal. When it comes to fish, give it a good cook. Cooking it up fully helps kick out that pesky parasite, keeping your furry buddy safe and sound. Number 2. Salt. We know it's tempting to have a snack buddy, but hold off on the salty stuff for your pup. Too much salt can turn your dog into a hydration champ, making them super thirsty. Imagine lots of pit stops at the fire hydrant. Not the kind of adventure we want, right? Plus, there's a sneaky thing called sodium ion poisoning lurking around the corner. How do you know if your pups had too much salt? Watch out for signs like unexpected vomiting, a bout of diarrhea, feeling a bit down, shaky tremors, a higher than normal temperature, and even scary seizures. It's like a salty roller coaster of not-so-fun symptoms. So, when it comes to snacks, stick to the dog-approved treats. Too much salt isn't a tasty game for our furry friends. Number 1. Yeast dough. Do you know that dough magic where it rises before baking? Well, if your dog snatches a bite of that raw dough, it could turn into a real bellyache. The dough does its rising thing in your pup's stomach. As it puffs up, it can stretch your dog's tummy, causing some serious discomfort. Now, here's the sneaky part. When the yeast in the dough does its fermenting dance to make it rise, it creates a bit of a party juice, alcohol. Yep, you heard it right. Too much of this alcohol can lead to a situation called alcohol poisoning. So when you're in the baking zone, keep that rising dough out of your pup's reach. Well, we've covered quite a bit of ground today, making sure our dogs stay safe and happy. From keeping away those tricky foods like chocolate, caffeine, and macadamia nuts, to understanding the risks of raw diets and the dangers of rising bread dough, we've got it all covered. Remember, our dogs rely on us to be their guardians, and being aware of what they should and shouldn't munch on is a big part of that love and care. So the next time you're reaching for that snack or planning a homemade treat, think pause first and keep those tails wagging. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Don't want to miss any new videos like this? Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.